Okay, so you want to talk about legal roller coasters.
Hmm.
This Ripple versus SEC case, it's got more twists and turns than I don't even know.
Right.
Just when we thought it was over, bam, the SEC comes back swinging with this appeal.
It's really got everyone talking. After that partial win for Ripple back in July.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That felt huge at the time.
It did. Like a real turning point, maybe.
Yeah.
It gave us some hope for, clearer crypto regulations.
Exactly. Remember, it all started with the SEC claiming Ripple was selling XRP as this unregistered security.
Right, which huge implications if they won that argument.
Totally. But then the court ruled that, no, selling on digital platforms, that's not necessarily dealing in securities.
Major victory for Ripple, right?
Huge.
Yeah.
But there was that catch.
Ah, yes. The institutional sales.
Right, like when they sold directly to big investors.
Exactly. The court said those sales, those were unregistered securities.
Hence the $125 million penalty, which, by the way, the SEC isn't even challenging in this appeal.
Yeah, that's what's so interesting. They zeroed in on this very specific thing, how Ripple distributed XRP to employees and, what did they call them? Other parties.
Right, and you'd think after that initial ruling, maybe the SEC would back off a bit. But no, they're laser focused on this one point, like it's the key to the whole kingdom.
And it might be. Think about it. If the SEC wins this appeal, it sets a precedent. Suddenly, every crypto startup out there rewarding their employees with tokens.
Which, by the way, is like standard practice in that world.
Exactly. Suddenly, that becomes a legal minefield. They'll be wading through red tape, jumping through hoops.
And who knows what the SEC might demand.
Right. This isn't just about Ripple and XRP anymore. It's way bigger. It's about the future of how crypto companies operate.
It's like, remember the early days of the internet? That whole debate about whether software was a good or a service.
Oh, yeah, and look how that turned out. Those decisions had huge ripple effects, shaping the entire digital landscape, no pun intended.
Totally. And that's what everyone's watching so closely with this case. Even those little procedural things, like when they filed the appeal, there was all that buzz online about deadlines and...
Yeah, legal Twitter was on fire for a minute there.
For sure. But it looks like it's all going ahead as planned, which means we've got a real showdown brewing.
Absolutely. And whatever the outcome, it's going to send shockwaves through the crypto world. I mean, just look at XRP's price. It took a dip as soon as the news of the appeal hit.
Volatility's back on the menu, boys.
Haha, right. But seriously, this case highlights this fundamental tension we're seeing play out in real time.
Innovation versus regulation, the classic dilemma.
Exactly. And there are no easy answers.
So where do you stand on that? Do you think clearer regulations would stifle innovation, or could they actually help crypto grow in a more, I don't know, sustainable way?
That's $1 million question, isn't it? It's a tough one. On the one hand, too much regulation, it's like you're putting crypto in a straitjacket, right? You're stifling creativity, making it harder for new ideas to flourish.
Right, it loses that. Like Wild West, anything does energy.
Exactly. But then again, without some guardrails, without some clear rules of the road, it's easy for things to get out of control. You get scams, you get market manipulation, and that scares away investors, hurts the industry in the long run.
So it's about finding that balance.
Finding that sweet spot where innovation can thrive, but within a framework that protects investors and ensures, the whole system doesn't go belly up.
Easier said than done, I'm sure. But hey, that's why we're here. Right? To break it all down, make sense of this wild world of crypto.
Absolutely. And trust me, this Ripple case is far from over, so buckle up.
We'll be here for every twist and turn. And in the meantime, listeners, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, let's get a conversation going.
Hit us up on social media. Let us know. What does the ideal balance between innovation and regulation look like to you? And do you think we'll ever actually find it?
Some food for thought, you.
Until next time, happy hodling.